Well, hey everyone, welcome back. Sean Blue Ridge Silverhound. Look at this. This channel is getting even more legit with every passing day. Yes, it was bound to happen only because that a lot of other people are now doing the whole finance whiteboard thingamajig, so I might as well go ahead and throw my hat in the ring. I don't know why. I feel like, everything is self-explanatory. How close am I? Yeesh. But anyways, today's Fun Day Finance episode is going to revolve around, is it worth it to consign your coins to an auction house? Yes. I feel like this topic has been beaten to death, but maybe it hasn't beaten a lot of folks to death regarding the overall outcome of just the mere activity of consigning a coin really means to you and the overall amount of money that you make at the end. So we're going to use this as kind of a guide to help generate some really punch in the face type of statistics and facts that revolves around consigning to an online auction. Okay, first thing, however, is you have to kind of decide if whether or not the coin that you have in question is even worth consigning to an online auction. So for this particular exercise, we are going to focus on this coin right here, a 1909S VDB Lincoln Cent. Okay, it's a somewhat reasonably kind of like key date coin. All right, it's a coin that everybody looks for. All right, and it's a coin that has a lot of value, okay, across all grades, as even as low as AG, good, very good, and up. Okay, once we get into the mint state grades, of course, the coin is going to be extremely expensive. But for this particular coin right here, how about we focus on one that is graded? Okay, so we're going to use PCGS as an example. Professional Coin Grading Service, in case you don't know what the acronym stands for. And for the grade, okay, we're going to go with a really nice XF 40. Extremely fine 40, is what that means right there. It's a really nice grade for this particular key date of Lincoln Wheat Cent, okay? And most importantly, it's a grade that kind of splits the boundaries between, just okay and really desirable. All right, so it's kind of like that threshold point in a certain coin in which it becomes even more desirable and even more valuable. Okay, every single coin that's worth a salt has this kind of like guideline. All right, it's that one line that kind of separates. These are plentiful enough in this particular grade that it shouldn't warrant as much of a premium as maybe a coin in which it is it exhibits more eye appeal and would make a great statement piece for any collection. Okay, that's what I feel an XF40 would exemplify for a 1909S VDB Lincoln Cent. All right, so here's a coin in question. I actually took the liberty of finding the coin for you that we are going to use as our example for this exercise. As you can see, PCGS graded XF40. It's got nice, pleasing, chocolatey brown surfaces. No, do not eat it. But please do collect it. It's worth quite a bit of money, okay? And the proof will be in the pudding. But when you go to maybe sell this coin, okay, and it's not just this coin. Think of it as an all-encompassing kind of fact-finding mission for not only key date coins like this, but also coins in which I've received many emails and many different kinds of comments through YouTube and through my Gmail regarding even modern date coins. Okay, coins like, hey, Sean, you did a video on this 1963 D Lincoln Cent that sold for $10,000, and I want to sell for that. Can you help me sell it? Okay, no, I cannot. All right, but I could certainly lead you to the way in which you will do that. Okay, in which we will all cover it. All right, so let's say we have a coin that is already graded. Of course, you would have already graded it yourself. All right, you guys know, how much that costs. If you're going to use PCGS, keep in mind you have to pay the membership fees. I think $99 is the least expensive, or maybe $79 for the silver club membership on there. Excuse me, I'm all choked up. I'm so happy that I have my own whiteboard. But keep in mind it's to be around $100, okay, for that particular fee. Okay, you have to sign up as a member. It's good for 12 months. All right, the second thing you want to take into consideration is how much does it cost to submit this coin? If you submitted this coin as an economy submission, as a person that's like, an individual, not a business or a corporation that deals in coins, but you as an individual sends this coin out to PCGS. An economy submission is $22. Okay, so when you send this out, it's $22. And the price goes up from there, depending on the type of submission that you do. For example, there is an express submission that takes less time to turn around, whereas on the economy, it may take 4 to 6 weeks. So the express, I believe, is 10 to 14 days, if I'm not mistaken. The normal price is $65 with PCGS. That's a huge amount of money. And overall, that's a come down off of the bottom line in which you sell this 1909 SVDB. The walkthrough submission, I believe, is a lot quicker turnaround. I believe it's less than 3 days. That's $150, but it also carries a higher value of the coin. Let's say the coin that you're submitting is not an XF40 at all, but instead it is a mint state 65 or 66, a coin in which carries a value of somewhere in that $2,500 to $4,000 range, maybe even higher if it's a full red specimen. The walkthrough submission choice would make a little bit more sense because you get the coin faster. Okay, you could submit it, either sell it on eBay, sell it to Great Collections, which is the auction house we're going to use, because they have the least amount of fees involved. But back to this XF40 1909 SVDB. All right, so we are going to use Great Collections. Okay, they're actually a phenomenal company with the best rates. So I'm going to go ahead and just write that down here. I'm kind of a Great Collections homer of sorts. I am not at all affiliated with Ian Russell and his company, but he runs a really good online auction. Okay, it's really easy to consign. You download the forms, you send it off. Plus, that has also the list of fees on there. So we're going to use greatcollections.com. You want to submit this 1909S Lincoln Cent VDB, okay, in which it grades PCGS XF40. Just to recap, okay. All right, so what are the fees initially that you're going to have to look for when you submit to Great Collections? Well, it's kind of a value-based fee schedule, okay, which is kind of nice. All right, so let's say if you have a coin that sells for over $1,000, let's say this 1909S VDB sells for over $1,000 at auction. Great Collections will charge you $0. They will charge you $0 on that. The only thing that they'll charge you, and that's based off of the final realized price, the only thing that they will charge you is somewhere between $3 and $10 for the listing fee. All right, so the listing fee over here, and hopefully you guys can see this. So listing fee on each individual coin is somewhere between $3 and $10. And that's for the first time around. Let's say your coin does not sell the first listing. Okay, they will relist it for you. They will not recharge you that fee. Okay, that's why I love Great Collections. They are thebomb.com. And that's not an actual website, in case you're wondering. So over $1,000, zero fees. Okay, if it's under $1,000, they charge a fee, okay? A little bit of a fee. It's a little little bit of a fee. It's actually 5% of the total sale price, all right? So it's 5%. So at the most, $50 is what they charge you, okay, if it sells for under this amount. Let's say if it's sold for $999.99, okay, and that is actually the hammer price and not the actual final realized price, and you'll see that here momentarily. Okay, $50 or $49.99 at the most. All right, so that's what we're looking at there. So you have your listing fee for the one coin. Okay, now if you're submitting multiple coins, like let's say 10 of them, at the least it's going to be $30. $3 minimum times 10, $30 in addition to whatever other fees that's involved as a result of the final hammer price. Okay, so as long as we realize that, we automatically know that if we sell this coin right here for $999.99, that's going to be $50 that we're going to take off the bottom line. In addition, at the least $3. So $53 has already been accounted for in the sale of this coin. Okay, but yeah, it gets better. I guess. Yeah, I got to stop living in my mom's basement. You know, you guys are trusting a guy that on YouTube on coin finance. You shouldn't do that. But you also have to ship this coin to Great Collections. Okay. It is recommended that you send your coins registered mail, okay? That means that with registered mail, you are covered up to $25,000 in value of the items that's inside that envelope or box, okay? In the case of this coin here, this has a PCGS price guide value of $950, okay? So you are covered for the entire $950 of a PCGS XF40 coin when you send it out through the United States Postal Service. All right, so the typical cost of registered mail, I believe, is $25. Okay, and again, you're covered up to $25,000 in value on that coin, or multiple coins, or one coin that's worth $20,000, $23,000. But let's say your coin is worth more, or your collection of coins that you're sending out is worth more than $25,000. Well, you can either call Great Collections and they'll figure out some sort of third-party insurance company to insure your coins in transit, or you could consult with your insurance company to buy individual insurance on this property, okay, which they can do. There are actually specialty insurance companies that deal with coins and other items of extraordinary value, okay, and those are all charged accordingly. Some people have antique guns, arms and armor. Some people have jewelry. Some people have antique clothes, antique memorabilia, baseball cards, sports cards. Maybe it's a classic car, okay? They all have their own unique insurance that you could use in order to cover your item, okay? So with that being said, okay, you have your registered mail, which is covered up to $25,000. It costs a flat rate of about $25. It might be a little bit less, a little bit more, depending on where you're at. You have 5% here on the $1,000. You have 0% on the over $1,000 transactions. Okay, ideally, you want to sell it for over $1,000 because you make more money. Because right now, as it sits, if we sold this for $1,000 or $999.99, you're going to be looking at a $50 surcharge fee on the listing. And that's going to be based off of the hammer price. And we'll get into that here in a second. Registered mail, $25. So that's $75. And then $3 for the listing fee. So you're at $78. That really just encompasses the entire fee schedule and what you are going to pay at the end when this thing sells. Now, the mailing part you pay up front, of course. But in the grand scheme of things, that will be taken into consideration when you receive that final amount of money. Okay. So, with that being said, okay, we send this thing out to auction. All right. And it finishes. It finishes on a Sunday, which is typically how Great Collections rolls. Okay, they'll do the rolling 7-day, but they will put up your coin submission 30 days in advance to get some exposure to that coin, okay? And then as it comes down to the final 7 days, that's where you're going to have the super hype activity regarding the final bidding, okay? It usually ends up within a few hours of the final day of that coin's listing, okay, which ends on a Sunday. All right, so in the case of this particular PCGS XF40 coin, all right, 1909S VDB, okay, the one that we all opt to find. This particular coin right here sold June 16th of 2019. So it's not even a month ago, okay? It actually, as a matter of fact, it's right about a month. All right, and this particular coin, okay, you're going to see it flashed up on the screen, but I'm going to go ahead and write it down here. Sold for a hammer of $686. But you're probably asking yourself, what is that other dollar value, the $771.75? And which one do you get paid under? Well, it is my understanding that you get paid off of the hammer. Okay, this dollar amount here, okay, as you've seen in my Monday market report, is actually the dollar value with the buyer's fee. So Great Collections charges on both sides of the coin. Haha, no pun intended, right? So they charge on both the seller side to a lesser extent, but they charge a lot more on the buyer's side. So as soon as this coin sells for $686, which is your transaction value as a seller, Great Collections there in turns adds in about another $85 to $90 in buyer's fees, okay? In addition, they will charge the buyer sales tax, all right? And they will also charge the buyer shipping, okay? At the end of the day, it's not uncommon to see this amount right here as a buyer creep up another $30 to $40, maybe even higher, again, depending on the tax rate that's involved. So as a seller, this is the number right here. Sorry, I'm new at this. Jeez, I can't even draw a friggin' star, but there you go. $686. Well, that doesn't seem like a whole lot. The PCGS price guide value of an XF40 is $950. Well, what does that tell you? Number one, PCGS's price guide schematic doesn't necessarily follow real live auction bidding. Crazy, huh? But that affects you in a big way because you hinge on that information found on PCGS's website to determine how much you think the market value will be. Okay, it sounds reasonable that it should be plus or minus like 50 bucks. So if it's $950, okay, reasonably, I would say I'll take $900. But it's sold for not even $700. All right, 5% of every 100, okay? That's $35 in fees on the coin that undersold, okay, by all accounts. Okay, the real question is it worth it? Or is this lousy? Keep in mind, we're talking about a key date coin right here. But there are a number of folks that are interested in submitting these modern coins, these hyper-graded Mint State 67, Mint State 68, modern graded coins post-1950 that aren't even worth this kind of money here. But the allure, the dream of finding a coin that's worth $2,500, $5,000, okay? And keep in mind, the odds of sending one individual coin from this era and have it come back into grade in which it's going to be a top pop grade is pretty rare. Mic drop. So for a key graded coin that's sold, for about $270 underneath PCGS price guide value, you take into account the $65 in fees. Okay, that's the seller's fee, which is a percentage on that value because it's under $1,000. The $3 to $10, I use $3, and then $25 for that registered mail fee to send the coin to Great Collections. Is it worth it? And the big answer, no, okay? On this one particular thing, okay? It's only a no if you're sending a coin out that's worth less than $1,000, okay? But there's no guarantee. A PCGS price guide value, keep in mind, we are in kind of a coin recession. Same with currency. Because the stock market is pretty decent, although there are hints that we are heading toward a recession in which coins will be a safe haven for a lot of folks and people will overpay. Same with silver, same with gold, palladium, platinum, any precious metal. Heck, even diamonds. And copper. Copper hoarding is a real thing. Believe me, I used to be one. But in this given time, when you have a coin that has an undisputed value of under $1,000, it is not worth it. If you have coins that you want to submit, they're like, oh, like 40, 50 bucks, it is not worth it. Okay. By the time you take into consideration everything, okay, for low value coins, the big kicker is that registered mail. It will eat you up alive. But anyways, that is the Blue Ridge Silverhound Fun Day Finance video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I would love to hear your comments on this one. It's pretty crazy. All right. We're using Great Collections, which probably has some of the lowest fees. All right. And these auction houses, they got discerning tastes. They will not take in just about any coin. All right. They want some of the best stuff. All right. Some of the highest quality. But that's it. In case you're wondering, yes, you could submit raw coins to these online auction companies like Great Collections, Heritage Auctions, Stacks Bowers. Okay. In the case of Great Collections, okay, they will do you a huge solid. If you want them to grade coins through PCGS, okay, it costs $22 normally to submit by yourself to PCGS, but they will charge their company rate of $15. Express costs $65, but they will charge you $30. And then finally, that walkthrough submission, where it's $150, they will do you a solid and only do it for $90. Okay, pretty good deal. So, plus you don't have to sign up for the daggone membership, okay, which is kind of a deal breaker to a lot of people who only want to submit 2 or 3 coins, okay, especially moderns. So that concludes the finance part of it. Again, it's a no if it's a coin under $1,000. The fees really eat you up alive. And again, I'm using the lowest fee company out there for online auctions. They're great for buying. Don't get me wrong. If you want some high grade quality caliber stuff, Great Collections does a great job. Okay, Heritage and Stacks Bowers tend to deal more on the more elite level of coins, stuff in which there are only, a few handful, very rare key date chase pieces that investors want. Great Collections has a little bit of everything. All right. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Well, again, love to hear your comments, any suggestions. This is a brand new thing we're doing here, guys. We got the whiteboard here, still living in my mom's, attic and basement. I actually have a sweet video game chair that's sitting downstairs, that I'm going to use. It's got 2 Bose speakers in the headrest console. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and go back to eating Pop-Tarts and chewing gum and Pepsi. Yeah. But anyways, that was all a joke, of course. In case you guys are wondering, results of the MRI on my back. So it turns out that I have arthritis. Yeah, that comes with getting old, of course. In addition, I have a cyst on my spine. So I'm going to meet with my doctor and then a spine doctor. Apparently I know one on YouTube, Mark. Glad to know you, bud. Thank you for all of your just your guidance and everything. Sorry I haven't gotten back to you. But it's not as bad as I thought it would be, so that's great. One thing at a time. Let's see what we can do. But anyways, thank you guys. Like, share, subscribe, and hope to see you next time on another Blue Ridge Fun Day Finance. All right, take care.